Hey, what's going on, everybody? Man, it is so good to see you. So Stoker here, and I don't have anything special or fancy today. I just really wanted to talk about the Bic lighter and what we can do if we need to add this into our kit bag. A couple little things that we need to do, in my opinion, to make sure that this is the best tool that we can put in there. Because at the end of the day, you know, this is a $2 tool. But with just a couple mods, man, this thing can become priceless. So as we get going, man, if you want to stay stoked, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date on some future content. So, you know, I think in some circles that are out there, people look at the Bic lighter like it's a no-brainer. While some other people look at it like, hell no, I ain't putting that in my kit bag. I'll keep with some more primitive means. And I think no matter where you fall in on the spectrum, we would be kind of foolish to not have a multiple means or methods to be able to start a fire, because at the end of the day, being able to start a fire efficiently is going to allow us to purify water, it's going to allow us to maintain a core temp, it's going to allow us to cook some food and make some coffee. But in its stock form, the Bic lighter is kind of worthless, and it can be extremely difficult and a challenge if we have some gloves on trying to get it to start. You know, you don't want to have to go through that. So I'm gonna give you a couple quick and easy things to do, mods that you can do to your lighter. I'll show you how to maintain this thing in the worst conditions. That way you can make sure that it's always gonna be trustworthy for you. Now I will, fair warning, this is not sponsored by Bic, but Bic, if you're out there and you want to support some stoker and keep some other people stoked, feel free to reach out to me. But truth be told, this is not my favorite lighter. My favorite lighter is probably my Zippo, but I quit smoking a while back, so I don't carry my Zippo lighter on me anymore. And the problem with the Zippo lighter, of course, is that it leaks fuel. And a Bic lighter, that's one of the standout things about it, is that it's sealed and it's not going to leak fuel. My other most sacred, it's not sacred, my other most favorite lighter is, I don't have it on me. Let me go get it real quick. It's this guy right here, the Benzomatic, man. This thing is awesome. You turn it on and bam, whoa, money in the bank. And if you can't start a fire with this thing, there is something seriously wrong with you. But of course, I can't stuff this into my pocket, and I don't want to take up that much room in my pack, so I don't use this when I'm out in the field. I use this in the house sometimes. I don't know if I like it so much because it's Benzomatic, and Benzomatic sounds like Stokermatic, but you know, whatever. All right, so the first thing that we want to do, getting back to this Bic lighter, is get rid of this child safety measure right here, right? Because if your hands are cold, if you got gloves on, if it's wet and you're trying to move and start it, you know, you don't want to have to be dealing with that. You want to immediately be able to flip that Bic and have it come on. So we're going to take this off, and it is super easy to do. So to get that off, man, it's super easy. Just take any tool. I got a small pair of pliers right here. We're going to bend that in there, and we're going to take this thing right out of there. Bam. And so now that we have that off, it's just too easy to flick the Bic, and she comes right on. Don't have to struggle with it anymore. Right, and so the next tip I want to address on, in order for you to be able to set this thing up to be the perfect addition to any survival kit or bug out kit, or just leave in your car, put it on your person, is give you first a reminder. And so the reminder is, don't buy a lighter that's camo. Man, it don't have to be tactical. Get a bright colored lighter. This particular one is blue, man. Get a pink one, get a red one, get a yellow one. Don't buy a green one, don't buy a brown one. Make it contrast with the materials that you have. And we're going to take this one step further by taking some Guerrilla Tape and wrapping it around the lighter. Now this particular Guerrilla Tape, man, it's really high-end duct tape, and it's reflective, so it's really good. It's reflective. And what does reflective mean? If we're out in the field, it means if I drop it, I can find it. So let's get this on here. So we're just going to take some tape, and so I'm just going to unwind this a little bit here, and I'm going to put her on. Try to keep it straight, so it's not a complete fandangled mess. And I'm gonna roll out a couple 8/16 inches here. Right, and so here's the finished product, and I'm gonna show you here in a little bit why we have this on here. It's not just so that if I drop it, I can find it. It's to take yourself a little bit of duct tape and just roll her up. Bam, money in the bank, right? Take your lighter and catch that sucker on fire. Bam, now you have a fire starter that is super easy to manage, and it's right on your fire source. You don't have to look for this thing. How great is that? Man, if you can't start a fire with that, there's something wrong with you. Now, with something that you're carrying with you anyways, you got something that you can use to make some tinder so that you can light some fires in some less than ideal conditions. Hey, let me know what you think about setting up your lighter like this, and we'll keep this conversation rolling. You know, a couple other things you need to do is make sure you keep your lighter somewhat close to your body, that you can keep it from freezing on you. You just stuff it in your pocket. If it happens to get wet, just all you have to do is just blow it out. And if you need to, the other piece, of course, you got a small ferro rod in there. You just run it on your pants, help dry it out, and help get things working as well. And always remember, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Hey, look forward to your comments down below. As always, we'll keep this conversation rolling, and until then, we'll see you.